Nika Muhl has announced that she will not be returning to UConn next season. It's not a surprising announcement, but it does have implications. In this video, we are going to take a look at her announcement, a little bit of a look back of her career and what it could mean for UConn moving forward. If you like the content, then please consider subscribing to the channel and give the video a like. All right, let's get into this. So Nika Muhl, as I said, posted on X, "Last ride with my G less than 3. Peace out, UConn Nation. I'll miss you so much." And then it shows her driving with Gino Auriemma. I don't know last ride. I don't know what the G less than 3 means. If somebody wants to put that in the comments, and I got no doubt I'm a dinosaur. In terms of the announcement, it was expected. I mean, if you were going to return, you think she would have returned during the ceremony when all the crowd was around to get the big hurrah like Paige Bueckers did and Aubrey Griffin. So not surprising that she's leaving. In a previous video, I've sort of talked about the plight of the international players. So they're limited in the NIL they can make, and I would think the risk for them to get injured in that 5th year is greater for them because they essentially have to go back home and rehab versus the American players that are able to stay near the school and probably get a GA position and just continue to rehab and hang around until they fully recover. I am a bit surprised that she announced prior to the tournament, as I thought she might wait until after the tournament completed just to make sure that she got out of the tournament healthy. Now, the last remaining player that we're waiting to hear on is Aaliyah Edwards. Auriemma has already said that he thinks she's gonna go pro, and it would make sense because she'll be a top 5, 6 draft pick for sure. I think the recent NIL deal with Adidas gives it away that she's leaving. I mean, why would Adidas sign her to a contract if she was gonna be playing another year at UConn?
I'm sure you saw Aaliyah signed with Adidas earlier this week.
They're not allowed to comment on that because they're international student athletes.
Okay, sorry.
This video is more focused on Nika Muhl, and her career has been good at UConn. I think most fans would appreciate the work she's done over the 4 years. And the key thing with her is she's developed over the 4 years. And it was interesting. Last year, after she got the assist record, I think Sue Bird, she was talking about how she got FaceTimed by Sue Bird, who congratulated her on getting the UConn assist record. But during that interview, she was talking about her growth at UConn and how when she first got there, she was uncoachable. And she was probably being a bit hard on herself during that interview, but it was clear that she was very hard-headed and wanted to do things her way and would clash. And really, it took a while for her to sort of transition her game to be more under control what the UConn coaches were looking for.
I would be nowhere without Morgan, CD, Jamel, and Coach. I feel like they never gave up on me, and this award is definitely, I would dedicate it to them because they could have given up on me a lot of times, I will tell you. So, and they never did, and they believed in me. So just a proof of hard work and belief from my teammates and my coaches.
Why could they have given up on you?
Because I was uncoachable. I was, ever since I came here, I was very uncoachable. I still wouldn't say I'm the most coachable right now, but to see my growth and how far I've come, it means a lot, and I'm so thankful to them for never, giving up on me.
And she has done well. So last year when Paige Bueckers was injured, she was able to step in and carry the load pretty well. So she went for 7 points, 3.9 rebounds, just under 8 assists, 1.4 steals, and shot 40% from the floor and 34% from three-point range. Her turnovers were a little bit high at 2.3, and I guess the negative on her is she would tend to make that pass that you shouldn't make at times, just trying to make a big play. But that was her MO, essentially, trying to do too much or putting all effort in. So she would want to make that pass or potentially try to get that steal on defense and get a silly foul, which would sort of get her in trouble at times. But then that was the thing that probably made her a really good player that was allowed to come to UConn to play. I think overall UConn fans are very appreciative of the effort that she put in over her 4 years. She was tough. Like, she would always take elbows to the face, it would seem like, because she was just getting so tight on defense. The other thing, it was clear that she was always a team first type player. So she took a bit of a hit this year because she had to adjust her game the most out of anybody with Beckers returning, because last year she had the ball in her hand pretty much all the time, and now she was sharing the ball, and she did a good job. Like, she improved her three-point percentage from 34% to 41% this season, which is what UConn needed. So she's delivered on her game and always done what the team needs to make the team better. Last year, when UConn went down to Ohio State, I thought she did a good job in that loss in terms of she turned her ankle during that game, I seem to recall, but she played the whole game. And it would have been easy to turtle at the end of that game and say, I need to come out. But she didn't do that, and she didn't blame her ankle on what transpired in the game, just said they need to be tougher. And I think she was always a stand-up player for UConn. It's clear that Gino Auriemma really likes her, as the trip to Zagreb was really good, so she could play in front of her friends and family, and then having the game with UConn, I think it was Dayton, where she could play her sister and her parents came over. I think it's been really good. I think it's the type of player that he likes. I think he likes the strong-headed player like a Taurasi or Muhl as well, just because I don't know. I think he gravitates to those. He'd much rather have a cocky player that thinks that, you know, he has to bust down a level.
I gave her the biggest hug, but I whispered in her ear, I still hate you. And she said something back that I won't repeat. So
versus, I think he struggles a little bit more with the AZ FUD, where he's having to say, you know, you are the best. You know, you need to shoot. You need to be selfish. You need to do this, and constantly having build. I think he finds it, I think he can relate better to those players that think, oh yeah, I'm the best out here, and then having to break them down. I think that's where he's at his best, and I think he knew he could coach her hard, which he appreciated. When he came out and sort of went after the team, saying they were selfish last year, he really went after her a little bit, and I think he did that because he knew she could take that to a certain extent. So overall, just a heck of a career, and should be appreciated for everything she's done for UConn. Now, the implications of her leaving are that there is one roster spot open. That's assuming as well that Aaliyah Edwards declares at the end of the year, which certainly looks like it is. And who will that roster spot go to? I am sure UConn fan is hoping Sarah Strong will take up an offer, but there are a lot of other schools, so I don't know. She could be going to South Carolina. She could be going to LSU. Nobody knows for sure. Or will UConn look to bring in Caitlin Chin from Princeton? I still don't see that. I think they have enough guards already. But anyway, to be determined. In terms of Muhl going to the WNBA, I don't see her drafted in the first round. I think it will depend. She might be able to stick and make a roster spot, but it depends on who drafts her in the second or third round, and if it's a good fit. She has a good shot. She can handle the ball and play defense, so maybe she will be able to make a roster. It's just a hard gig making the WNBA. At the point guard position, I could see her getting a little bit of experience in Europe and then making the move maybe in a couple of years' time, but to be determined. Anyway, congratulations to Nika Muhl on a very good career at UConn. All right, if you like the content, then please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot for watching. Good night.